So, good morning, good afternoon, good. Wrong show. Wrong show. I have been off for 4 days and this is what I. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Refresh Step where you recover yourself for the main step. I'm your host for today, tomorrow, and the foreseeable future, Theodore Lu. And I'm with Thoughts Battler in the UK and admin of the Battlespears English Wiki, Ayumu Seiki.
Hello.
Yeah, it's finally nice to be back in my own setup, in my own room, in my own chair. So basically, as usual, we recorded usually on time. This time I didn't because I have a small vacation to Berlin and I'm holding in my hand now part of the box that Amamiya somehow made me open or made me buy for that matter, which is a big box of Haribo. Because we were like, I think like we were actually like going to an Indonesian restaurant.
Yeah.
So like I say that for lunch, okay, so let's go to this Indonesian restaurant that my sister told me to try out. And then, okay, so I think Amamiya had some things he wants to take care of. So he took me to this mall.
Mm-hmm.
And then like on the way to the station to go to the Indonesian restaurant, basically he brought me to this Haribo store. And then, okay, so I was just thinking, okay, so I mean like Haribo is something that is everywhere, right? Like you can just buy it from any German supermarket. So I was like, maybe they, like I think like in Munich they do say that they have like a German colored Haribo. So kind of it's the tourist stuff, right? But like at least it's the tourist stuff that I can maybe buy for you. And then like, okay, so I found the something that is like, okay, it has the word Germany on it. So if you bring it back to the UK and you bring it to the locals, then maybe okay. So yeah, this is Haribo from Germany. But and then yeah, maybe one for myself. And then Amamiya told like recommended one. Okay, fine, I'll take it. And then like he took some himself, and then we have like 6 packs between us. And then he said that he pointed out that okay, so if you buy like 10 packs of 10 any packs, you basically can get like this box that I've shared to you for free, which normally would cost like I think 2.5 euro. So I was like, do I really need the box? Like, I don't know, but I will need the pack anyway. And I mistook like because like they have like an actual like Haribo merch, which is a tote pack. Like it's a proper tote pack that's like 5 euro or something. So I was like, okay, I almost mistook that from like the normal shopping bag. I shouldn't have taken that. And then like, okay, so then we just take more stuff. Like one of them, actually they have like a corner for Haribo that is like being sold for other markets. So like I took the one that is for the French for some reason. Like Amamiya just, so this looks interesting. Like the taste like it's like a dragon flavor or something. I can't read
dragon flavor.
I can't read French. It just says Drago something. So I was like, oh okay. My little Junibio brain was like, okay, I saw the word dragon and I just take it. And then we have 10 between us, so just put everything. And I think like the cashier even instantly know that I'm a tourist. Like he just straight up like speak to me in English. Because it's Berlin. Anyway. And then yeah, then I have like this big box of Haribo that I did not like when although like they do display like the box after they're assembled. I somehow didn't register in my mind like how big this box is. And then like when he first like scanned the box and then it has the price for the box, and then he just assured me, okay, so after I scan these 10 things like this price will be gone. Okay, fine. So he scanned all 10. I bought like a total of 20 euro worth of Haribo for this. Well, between us. So,
20 euro.
yes, it's for the two of us. So it's like 10 packs
I
of
mean, that's.
Haribo.
I mean, 10 euro each is still a lot.
Mm-mm.
What the hell?
No, right. You can expect great things when you come over here. Because like 25% of it is actually the one that I bought for you. It's just one pack.
Oh, okay.
You can expect like great
Thanks,
things.
uncle.
You're welcome, nephew. And then after that, I kind of regretted like getting the box because although I cannot buy the tote pack because I cannot justify like paying 6 euro for the tote pack. Like they have like the normal like like the branded plastic pack, and then like they look decent enough, and they're probably just 2 euros. So I was like, should have got the like those shopping bag instead, because like this box, like when I carry them, like it hurts a lot, and the size is like big enough for it to be awkward to carry. Like if I just got like the normal plastic pack, it will probably way less awkward to carry around.
I mean, to be fair, you can also think of it as like a card holder, though, can't you? Like card deck holder.
I mean, it's really big, so it can hold maybe like your pop if you try hard enough.
If you try hard enough.
Yeah, that's like the problem with using a non-standard box is like sometimes okay. So now there's this awkward like remaining like 1 centimeter that allows the card to like move around. So it's like okay, this is like this a small amount of movement is the one that can damage the card. So I don't want that. So yeah, and then like it is way too tall for that. So it's like the box is like actually really big. Like it is actually like as tall as our obvious like.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
But yeah, other than that, Ayumu, we are a Biospheres channel. So like Haribo is a side thing. So the other interesting thing is before we go to this Haribo store, we do go to like that like the conspicuous mall in Berlin, right? Like Berlin has like lots of malls that they are still in old buildings, but they are fully functional. Like people actually go there. Mostly, I think mostly because we go there, mostly because Amamiya just bought a computer from his friend. But that doesn't include the power cables, so have to get all the power cables by himself for some reason. So he went there to buy the cables, he got his cables, and then, he said that there's a car store behind this mall, basically. Okay, so
Nice.
I was like, fine, let's check it out. I mean, like, it's in Germany. Like, there's going to be Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, One Piece, Magic Gathering. Like, there's not going to be much to see. But like, let's just see like how the store is like organized, because that's actually still somewhat interesting for us to see like how they kind of like display and make like the products looks appealing, right?
I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah, although I know that I will not buy anything. I will just go. Maybe Amamiya just wanted some Pokemon packs to gamble with, because he always did. Like the amount of packs that he bought, like when we go out together, is just like
Oh my god,
enormous.
actually. Wait, you guys don't play online Pokemon, do you?
Nah.
Did you open any Pokemon packs? Give me the codes. I
Okay.
need them.
Okay. Oh yeah, actually I still have one from like the last live stream. So like maybe if no one
Yippee.
claimed that, then you can use them.
I mean, it's literally unique in each pack. So if you're not claiming them, then
I don't know, because we showed them on stream, but I think like we don't really. We just show them offhandedly, so I'm not sure if it's like not blurry enough, or if anyone ended up using them.
Right. Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
So we'll just see.
Now they say people are just gonna go to the stream.
Yeah.
Look for that one code. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, there's like 10 codes, so. Oh no, it's a 12, I think, because we can only buy like 6 packs per person, and then so we basically just bought 12 between us.
That's a very specific number. Why 6?
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, like, so now people just buy like tons of Pokemon packs just because. So like the store like not even selling boxes anymore. They just sell packs, and then like okay, so for some reason they allow like 6 per person, and then because I know the store, like the store clerk, he was like, oh well, I mean like your friend is like the one paying, but there's 2 of you, so like fine, we'll count it that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so back to this store in like in the conspicuous corner of Berlin that is like behind the mall. Even like behind the mall there's like this like small like oasis space where there's like a open roof, and then like there's some more stores like storefronts, and there's this one really small card shop, and then you go inside, and then the first thing that you can see is their wall of like the graded Pokemon cards. It's like, ooh, these are also pretty, but like it's also a little bit awkward to walk through. So I was like, also there's 2 customers that are like looking through the wall of like the graded cards. So I was like, oh yeah, might not be too comfortable to look around. So I was looking at the usual like sleeve place because that's the safe choice. Like you can use any sleeve for like any games, right? So like sometimes I just see, because like sometimes One Piece or Digimon do have like sleeves that I want. Like heck, my trusty Battle Spirit Saga sleeves decks are like sleeve in Digimon sleeves, because like I really like the Digimon story aesthetics.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, and then randomly in the corner they do have like this one wall that have like all the Japanese stuff, because they basically have like even they do have like Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh and Japanese Pokemon. So like even the one thing that Amamiya bought is basically one Yu-Gi-Oh singles that is in Japanese, just because it looks cool.
Yeah.
And then like he pointed out that on the top left of the shelf, for some reason, they have 2, not 1, 2 displays of Battle Spirits BSC 40 Monochrome Fantasia. I was like, okay, so this is really unexpected. I was like hyping it up, like, yeah, where else would you expect in Europe you will be finding a Battle Spirit set? Definitely not in Berlin, and then not Monochrome Fantasia. That's for sure. And then like, okay, so just out of curiosity, because like I've basically had a full set for like Monochrome Fantasia, right? So I don't need more cards from them aside from like the secrets for collection, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fine. So if they sell it for like way cheaper than Amazon, then maybe I can just do it as like a holiday thing, just because I don't gamble. So basically that's my gambling. I was just like, maybe we can get a secret, haha. It's going to be funny. We're going to lose all this money, but whatever. It's entertainment. It's for entertainment, so like whatever. So like, okay. So he basically, and then okay, so we asked them like how much is it? And like the guy took it out of the shelf, he scanned it, and then like, you know what he said?
What?
It's not in the system. I was like, what the fuck? They don't even keep it in the system. So they scan it to the cashier, and the cashier has like 0 data on how much it should be priced. Like, okay. And then like, okay, so now we don't have any frame of reference. The guy was confused. The owner was confused. We were confused. And then like, the owner just, okay, fine. How many packs are in that box? I was like, I also did not remember clearly, because some box has like 20, some box has 18. So I was like, okay, so I just said, I just said 20.
It says on the box.
Yeah. I was like, the box is still in his hand, so I was like, oh, yeah, maybe I think like it's 20. I cannot be bothered to check. And he was like, okay, so if it's 20, okay, then let's say like 1 pack I will sell it for like 2.5. So like it will be 50 euro, but like for a whole box then it's going to be 40. But I was like, and then I think like he saw that I was not interested in my eyes, and then he said like, okay, fine, just for today. If you buy it today, I'm going to sell it to you for 30. Then I was like, okay, fine. 30 is something that you will blow in to do some stupid stuff during holiday anyway. So like, okay, fine. I will take one.
That's actually the normal price of a main set.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, fine. I just took it, and then like, also like when you consider shipping and everything, right? So like, I mean, like if we happen to go to Asia, then yeah, it's going to be cheaper, of course. But like now we happens to be in the middle of Berlin, so it's going to incur some costs, right? Like I was like, fine, we'll take it. And then of course, Amamiya being Amamiya, once we left the store, like there's only one box left. And then he was like, okay, so let's check on Amazon, like how, like on the internet, like how much is silk box right now. Most stores, like I think like the cheapest that we can find in Mercari is around 6,000 something. So basically he convinced me to finish the other ones. And I think like this guy even said that, okay, fine, like I think like this one is already open. I did not hear it clearly because we were a little bit too hyped. So it turns out I think that one is already open. Maybe missing one pack and missing the bromide. But at the very least, we opened them all. The content is at least complete. Video might be coming out once I am finished with like the actual like more regular stuff. This one I still don't know whether I can make it into the whole video or I'll just make it into a short. Because I think like the story of how I get the box is more interesting than the content itself in a way.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and then basically we bought both boxes. We go home. We went to the Indonesian restaurant. It was probably the second best after my workplace. I am totally biased, but I can say that it's probably the second best so far of the Indonesian restaurants that I've tried in Germany. Yeah, after that we were absolutely stuffed, so we went home. We rest a little bit. We opened the box. Well, actually, even if one of the boxes were open, like all the hits are still there, so like all the extras are complete. And both of them has secrets, by the way.
Damn.
So like I opened the first one, I was like, okay. I was like, it has the word secret. Like I even forgot that they have like the word secret like written on the bottom of the card. So, like when Amamiya pointed out, I just realized that it has the word secret. It's a little bit black. Pop. And it's a Dragon Monica Taurus. Which the black version I was kind of like
it's a very good art anyway.
Yeah, it's a really good art, and it basically like I got like the box worth of money for that. So like okay, so fine. Okay. So basically we already covered like one box worth, so like it's fine. And then I opened the second box, and then I was like, open, and then like okay, and then I said we got another secret, and then like I see bear ties. I was like, which I haven't opened this set in like forever since that set was like from 5 years ago or some crazy numbers like that. I think it's 3 years ago. Yeah, this year's 10 after party. Last year it's after 10 party. The
2 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago.
2.
2. Is it monochrome? Oh yeah, it's more Shining Song and then monochrome fantasy. Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's from 2 years ago. So like, I already like erased like all. I did not like remember clearly like how all the secrets work, and then okay, there's a bear tie. It's a secret. I did not notice that the border was a little bit different, and I finally got one. Actually, no, the borders are different. I see white, and then like okay, fine. I finally got a wedding secret version of the diva. Yay! One of the 7 finally. Didn't get the one that I wanted, but still.
Actually, that reminds me. So, like, I have a British friend. I met him from Pokemon. And then, like, he's traveling in Singapore right now. And then they have, like, an exhibition thing in Singapore about, like, card games and stuff like that. And then it's Singapore, so there are some battle spirits. And he knew that I play battle spirits. Or like yeah, like he doesn't know the details. He only know that I play a game called Battle Spirits. And then but like he still managed to find some. And then like and because I never give him the details, I obviously didn't really tell him. Trickster is my favorite girl and everything like that. And then somehow his first photo of Battle Spirits is holding a wedding Trickster.
Yo.
And I was like, did I ever tell you that's my favorite character? And I was like, no.
No. So he got one for you from the box?
And no,
Okay.
he just
okay.
And like he was and it's like, how do you even manage to
like
guess?
Yeah, I know, right? here's all Trickster and it's just like this is Ayumu core. I know, right?
Like, yeah, like,
yeah, noise. Yeah, I still remember. I think like Amamia got a little bit more excited about the Fong Nina than I do.
I mean, the Fong Nina one is good, yeah.
Yeah. Kinda like I don't know. I like the Rias one better for the set.
Yeah, I like the Fong Nina one more.
More. But yeah, that's after that we just tested some stuff and then we went to sleep. Because we are good kids that sleeps at 4 a.m. just like any other normal people on this earth. Yeah. So, and then the next day we basically spent it to do some filming. So now it's just the usual limbo of I will wake up and then ask myself, do I want to edit a video today? But yeah, we spend a lot of time for this, so I guess I'll have to do it now. Anyway, after that we do the usual Ayumu. Asking ourselves what we want to eat today. And then we still want to film after that. So I was like, okay, so let's get something light, right? Because like if we eat too much, then I will be very sleepy and we will not be doing any filming. So he was like, okay, do you want gyudon or ramen? I was like, you're asking me, someone who lives near Dusseldorf, if I want to eat ramen. I was like in the birthplace of ramen in Germany, and then you ask me if I want to eat ramen. Of course no. Like for some reason, no place like especially have like a gyudon as a regular menu in around here. I think like there's this one restaurant that sometimes have them kind of like a rotating lunch menu, which is a little bit fucked up. And then we have kind of like it is less of like a restaurant. It's more kind of like a canteen. They do have some donburi, but for some reason they don't have like the normal gyudon. They always have like the more like beef and mayo kind of thing. So no plain gyudon for some reason. Well, actually,
beef and mayo on rice. I mean, I guess that kind of works. But like usually you add the mayo yourself. They don't add it for you.
Oh, in Yoshinoya you can. I mean, like you can ask them you can order the one that has the mayo already on the beef actually.
Oh, you went to Yoshinoya.
No, it's not Yoshinoya, but like it's just to give a comparison.
All right, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think like you can get like gyudon that easily or at least like the one where you can be sure that this is going to be gyudon, which is like supposed to be cheap and okay. I think like your best bet is like going to the supermarket and like buying like the one that you heat up yourself. Like, that's probably like the most cost effective gyudon in Dusseldorf actually. It's
Yeah,
just
I
a
mean,
little
that
bit
makes
sad.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little bit sad, but yeah, that's what it is. So I was like, okay, fine. We go to the gyudon place because Amamiya have also been hyping it up since the first day. Since the first day we ended up going to a Spanish restaurant instead. Also because of a story that I should have told from the beginning, but I got too excited by the Haripod and I forgot to tell that story. So we tried to go to the gyudon restaurant. It was closed. Turns out that we are already at the subway station and it's he just checking and like, okay, it's closed. Okay, fuck, what do we do now? And like, okay, so we were thinking of going to Hotpot for dinner, right? But like, Hotpot is going to take like at least like 2 hours of our time, right? So like, I was like already like, since we only have like maybe like 8 hours left to film, and we are already like spending like 1.5 hour for lunch. Like, don't think I wanted to go to Hotpot anymore. Also, I've been in the holiday mood, so I kind of have to hit on the brakes for the spending. So I was like, okay, fine. And then, but in the end, he just told me like, okay, so what if we just go to the Hotpot now? So to which I said, fair point, let's go.
What? Wait, what's the difference? I don't get it.
No. So we are supposed to go there for dinner. So we go to there for lunch instead.
Oh, all right. Okay.
And then Amamiya said to himself that, okay, so if we eat Hotpot now, since it's an all you can eat, we can eat as much as we are going to eat as much as we can anyway. So we'll probably not eat dinner. Okay, so bet. I was like, okay, fine. Also, I have some for a reason that I will tell like in the actual opening of this story. I somehow have like 12 packs of Indomie in my bag anyway. So like, okay, fine. Even if we got hungry, we can just go to the supermarket like before it closes, and we can get some eggs, and we can just eat instant ramen with eggs. It's going to be nice. And of course, like after we are done filming, Amamiya just straight up, okay, let's order some pizza. I kind of want pizza. I already offered like the ramen again, and he was like, no, I want pizza. Okay, fine. We got a large, and then like, of course, it was already like 10 p.m. or something when we finished filming. So I was like, we were scrambling for any pizza place that might still be open, especially since Amamiya somehow specifically for pizza. He really liked like the seafood pizza, like the one with the like the seafood, except for fish on top of it.
Yeah, fish is kind of weird, but like shellfish is okay.
Yeah, shellfish, shrimps, and stuff. And then he did not find one that is still open. He tried to check for Domino's because they have promo still, but also they don't have the seafood stuff. And then he found like this one store that is still open. And he ended up just ordering the steak and bacon because they don't have seafood.
Steak and bacon. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, steak and bacon. Yeah. Which the bacon is really nice. Steak is a little bit but the worst part is actually
I can imagine it's probably overcooked. So.
Yeah. But the worst part is actually not the steak. Actually, the steak is still pretty good. Like for a food shop pizza level of steak, I guess it works. But the dough, Ayumu, the dough is unforgivable. It was weak as fuck. I was like, whenever like American make like a pizza place review video and they do like, okay, so how much it flops? I was like, why does it matter that if the pizza flops? Like, no pizza is going to flop that. Oh my god, I never thought pizza could flop that much. Like literally, I pick it up and like it's not holding its shape at all. Like what? Like why is this? Why does this exist? Like why do you? I know you don't want to overcook the steak, but like why don't you like pre grill like the pizza or something? Like why? it was like quite embarrassed to eat, and then like Mamiya wasn't sure if that pizza is going to be enough, so he told me to like just choose like any side dish. And then so I don't know what to choose because like I feel like also like the promotion was like buy 2 get 1 free. So I was like, I don't think we need like 3 appetizers.
I mean, to be fair, like if you can't finish it, is probably just gonna finish it another time.
Probably, yeah. But I'm not in the. I just had like all you can eat hot pot. So I was like, my mind was like, I don't want that much food. And like last time he went here, like we eat like we ordered like a large pizza. He ate like 3 pieces and he told me to finish the remaining 5. So I was like, it's like I was like, I remember that I was like already told to him like, no, you're not going to eat that much anyway. Like, why do you want this? Okay, and then fine. And then I looked through like the menu, and then like also like why I don't want to buy too much as well is because they're like the standard stuff, right? Like chicken wings, chicken nuggets, like fries. I was like, and then pizza bread. I was like, I don't even want to see this much carbs and fat. So I was like, okay, fine. I scroll through the menu, and then there's this one that is like a little bit more expensive, but it's basically just your normal fries, sausage, and cheese. And I was like, yeah, I mean, like if I have to choose anything that is like fatty anyway, like this one at least looks kind of like good. And then of course like the fries, I mean like the fries being not crispy is kind of like okay. It's still like the insides were like still soft enough to kind of like justify the flavor. The sausage being in Germany is just okay, which is a crime. I cannot taste like the cheese at all, so like yeah, that was actually like the biggest disappointment in that order. Yeah, so yeah, that was how we finished the night, and then since we already finished filming, Amamiya wanted to test the new Z deck from the PP. And then I somehow just sack him with. I will like also, of course, I only bring my decks from like the new set, right? Like only Ice Princess and Hunter Beast.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so now I might be better if I just play like also collab decks, which Amamiya has way too much of. So I was like, okay, fine. I will play like the Mercury deck, like because I don't have one myself. Might as well while I can touch them.
Yeah.
And then the fun thing is like in the end, like he was playing like a white purple deck, and I think like there's one time that I actually like clean his field because I have like Deling Rembrandt on my field. So I was just like, yep, you're a Gundam. Go, your cores are now in the reserve.
You are Gundam.
You are Gundam. You two are Gundam.
Oh my god! I was was it last? I think it was it was last night.
Mm-mm.
Like I just finished like voice chatting with C4, and then like one of our friends, by the way, and then I don't know how often I can't remember how often I mentioned C4, so I don't know, just in case. And then so like he went to sleep, and then like I was like also like preparing to like go out for Pokemon locals. But I still got some time left. So I just started singing without realizing I'm still in the voice chat.
Oh.
Yeah, and then like just like after 3 minutes or so, just got like and it's like, and then oh god, I didn't even know what I was doing here. And it's like, oh, was that plasma? It's like, yeah.
Yes.
It's a good song.
Yeah. Indeed, it was it is indeed the song, and I think like after that, okay, so fine. I used like the Mercury twice. Okay, fine. Let's try something else, and I think like he gave me like the blue green Digimon. And then like okay, so now at some point he put like some stuff that gives his spirits green armor. And it's like fuck, like all of my destruction stuff are like blue green, right?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, how do I do this? And then like draw. I somehow have 2 Magnum on my hand.
Bruh.
And I have like 25 cores on my reserve, so I was like, yep, summon Vimon armor evolution destroy. Summon Vimon armor evolution destroy. Yes. And then now,
Nice.
yeah, and then now with the with the power invested in me through Magnum 1, I just hit him, and hit him. That was funny though. Also like my first 2 search, I was like, I summon Wormmon, open a Daisuke, and then I summon Vimon, I open a Ken. I was like, okay, fine. So two of my Grandwalkers cannot be added, and they are now at the bottom 8, bottom 6 or bottom 8 of my deck. So I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah, like the blue-green Digimon is a little bit awkward.
Yeah, I mean, like it's
like in terms of like the beginning anyway, but like the top end is like still pretty decent even by today's standard. But like I suppose like that's why. But like the search is a little bit lackluster. Obviously, like the whole chain of like Digivolution.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to. This kind of like a more of a like a green. So it's kind of like, okay, so if you have everything from the start, it's going to be smooth sailing. It's going to be, you can win like pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah, which still stands true to today. And then this brings us to the end of our trip. So I was like, okay, fine. We watch some anime, play some more games, and then we go to sleep because my train will leave at 8:40, which I forgot myself, by the way. So I was like, okay, so fine. Let's set like an alarm pretty early. So if we wake up early, then we can play some games before we leave. And then I was like, okay, so I will probably leave at around 7:30. But he said like, okay, so if you leave at 8, it's going to still be fine. Because he said that like there's a subway that went straight to the station where I need to take my train from, and it's going to take 30 minutes. So like we finished playing at like 7:55. So I was like, okay, fine. I mean, like, I cannot be like lounging around, but at least like I can just prepare, like wear my socks and everything like in a normal pace and go to the toilet, and I should still make it, right? Because like, okay, so this will take maybe like 7 minutes. I will go, and then if it will take like 30 minutes, it's going to be like 35 minutes. So I'm going to be there at around 8:40, and then 8:37. And he said that it's going to take like 3 minutes to go to my platform. And for some reason, I did not remember that my train will be leaving at 8:40. I thought it was going to leave at 8:47 or something. Yeah. I thought that was like perfect. Then I can still make it. And then like when I leave, Amamiya was kind of like low key, because like Amamiya was a very expressive person, except when he's rushing you for some reason. like
for what?
So for some reason, like, he's a very expressive person, but the moment he wants to rush me, he was being that serious. It was like, I think you have to rush now. Okay, you are going to just cut it close to the station. So like, you have to go now. He was like being that serious about it. I was like, oh, now I know that if once Amamiya like has like speaks to you with like zero cheerfulness, then that's like the serious stuff. And then of course like the subway was supposed to reach there at 8:37, and it was of course 1 minute late. I reached there at 8:38, and I just realized something. Like, of course it's the subway, right? So like the main station will be like on like a higher level. I almost took the wrong exit. Thank goodness I realized it early, but also I did not account that I would have really heavy luggage as well, because I have to bring my computer so that we can record and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I finally found the station. When I reached like the entrance, it was like 8:40, so I was like already resigned myself. Okay, fine. I already checked like the backup, so like if I really really cannot catch this train, it's going to be fine. I'll just have to run as fast as I can. If I can catch it, that's for the best. If I cannot, it is not the biggest loss in the universe. Like I already like lost 200 euro worth of games like before this just by dropping my case. But anyway, so I was like, I checked like the next day's ticket and it's fine. So I was like, okay, so I'll just, I know I'm already pretty late, so I might as well like walk fast, not run. Like instead of running, I just walk as fast as I can because I have a lot of luggage, so it was like really punishing to run as well. So when I reached my platform, I was heavily sweating, but also really relieved because I unironically the past day I just watched like a YouTube shorts that kind of like dissing like the German railways or like because like so basically like in the skit like the person that is asking like the German guy is like, okay, so I got this train that is like supposed to be 5 minutes ago and I missed it, like then I have to wait for like 1 more hour. And then like the German guy pointed out, no, you don't have to wait for 1 more hour, you just have to wait for 5 more minutes because you are late for 5 minutes and then the previous train was delayed for 70 minutes, so it's going to be coming in 5 minutes from now. So like so and then he ended up as a punchline like, you can always rely on German railways because they will always be late. and then surely well, because I check in my app, right, like the app said that it is on time, so they were like being adamant that okay, so we will leave on time, don't worry. And then I reached the platform, it's going to be 5 minutes late. Yay, mission failed successfully, question mark. So I was like 1 minute late to the platform and then like the train was like in the end it was like 8 minutes late. I was like, okay. This kind of works out, but like at what cost? But, and then I just took the train, emptied my bladder, and then played Rune Factory for 4.5 hours. By the time I reached Duisburg, my Switch is already crying because it was hungry. It was hungry for power. My headset was also hungry for power. I was like, yep, I'm on my last. Like, I need to go. I need to reach home as soon as possible. Also, I did not have any breakfast, so I just grabbed a croissant and go home and then go to catch up for the sleep that I missed from last night. So that was a crazy ending. So now time for a crazy opening. So like, you know, I am basically, even though I am still looking for my employment as a software engineer, I do have a side job. That is pretty much I do part-time and part-time in Germany basically doesn't mean that you do it for like 3 full day in a week. You do it for like 5 half days in a week pretty much. I was like,
okay.
So like I was like, okay, so I still need to go to work, so I'll probably get like 1 holiday. And then so the restaurant is closed on Monday, and then I just ask for my free day to be moved to Tuesday so that I can film. And then if you realize this is a Thursday, so basically I got the free from Monday to Wednesday. So basically, I have an ex-colleague that is currently in a city outside of Berlin, but is still like the closest big city is Berlin, basically.
Yeah.
And basically, I told my boss, okay, boss, I want to go to Berlin like next week because of this. Can I have like can I negotiate my time so that I can have like my free day on Tuesday? Plus, like if it's possible, like please don't call me on like Wednesday morning, so I can basically just take like either the night bus or like the morning train, and then I will still have like some time to take a break before my shift starts, basically. And then she was like, okay, so I will need you to deliver something to your friend, since you are already going there anyway. So it's a gift. let's just give it. And then of course, like, okay, so then that's a deal. I will be free until Wednesday. Then I will be delivering the stuff to him. So I will just take like 1 day to go to my friend's place because it is like the closest city to it is Berlin, but it also still takes like 2 to 3 hours from Berlin to his place. So I was like, I would lose a day regardless. So I was like, okay, fine. I will go on Monday. Since when I think about it again, especially since after that I booked my tickets and then they're like the cheapest and reasonable ticket that I can get is the one that will leave on Thursday morning. I was like, okay, fine. So like if I leave on like Tuesday evening, it's going to be a little bit awkward. If I go to on like Wednesday evening, it's not going to be safe since I'll then will have to wake up at around 4 a.m. and then like go to Berlin, all the way to Berlin, and then like take my train. I was like, okay, fine. I'll go to like on Monday after I reach Berlin. I probably like eat some lunch, eat some lunch, and then like go to his place after like he's finished working. And then I also asked him like, yeah, since it's in the rural area, right? Like you don't have like the Asian market. I offered him like, do you want me to buy you anything from like the Asian market in Berlin? And he just said, okay, so because we are both Indonesian, just get me some Indomie. Okay, fine. I'll get him some Indomie. No biggie. And also,
nice.
We used to work in a bar, so we both drink to some extent, not too much, but like we are social drinkers, so like we occasionally like drink a little bit. So like, okay, fine. Like it's like a random but like a pretty good occasion. I think like let's just buy some little amount of alcohol just to have fun a little bit. Okay, fine. That's not the main point. After that, I look for the connections to go to his place. Okay, fine. I'll be there at around 7, a little bit late, but still, we're probably going to have like a nice dinner, have a little chat. Maybe we can drink a little bit early and then like still drink enough water to recover, and then he can go to work. I can go to Berlin, and then I can continue my filming with Amamiya. So I took the train and I went all the way to my friend's place.
Yeah.
Halfway there, the driver announced something. We stopped, and then driver announced something, and then he announced the same thing again in English, which if the driver announced everything manually and he has to speak something in English, usually it's not a good thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess the coach broke down or something.
It's even worse. The tree broke down.
The what broke down?
A tree. A tree. So like while in Berlin it was like sunny as fuck. Like in the rural area, they happened to have like a storm, and the tree was knocked down. Like a really big tree was knocked down, and like it fucks up like the rails and everything.
All right.
So like, okay, so the driver said that we will be stopping in the next station, and then we will need to wait for confirmation on whether we will be able to drive further or not. If not, then we are going to drive back ways anyway. And then okay, so I checked like the connection. There's going to be a maybe I chose it wrong, but like the app said that there's a bus that will be going like in like 30 minutes. So I just set an alarm for 15 minutes. If the train is not moving in 15 minutes, then I can catch the bus basically. But
the train as well, not even like the coach or something. Wow.
Yeah, it's a train. So like then I check my phone again after 15 minutes. Turns out I think the location, like the GPS, kind of like record things wrongly, and it thought that I was like still outside of the area of the main of that station. So basically, the bus that it told me to take is the bus that takes me to that station so that I can take the train that I'm on to go to my friend's place. Which means there's no other the other train that will be going that way. So I was like, oh my god, this is perfect. And then like the app said that a train that is coming in like 20 or 30 minutes is going to be like, because it's like a long range train, right? So of course it's not as frequent as like the city train. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
20-30 minutes in this grand scheme of things, it's fine. So like the train is already offered that already said that okay, we are going to go back to like Berlin. Like I was still like having a copium that this other train will, since it's going to another direction, it might be able to go there. So I alighted the train. I waited for like the next train, and then like the next train is also the usual. The signs just say do not board this train. And then like, oh my goodness, what do I do now? Like there's like zero alternative now. And then okay, so
I'm to Uber.
Yeah, time to Uber. I thought I'm time to Uber, right? And then like I forgot I am not in North Rhine-Westphalia, where everything is like really close to each other. Like I should have figured out that if you take 2 hours by train, it's going to be really far by car as well. And like when I check Uber to go to my friend's place, it will cost me like 181 euro.
Damn.
I was like, this is a made up number at this point. Like, what is this? I was like, okay, fine. So I'll just like, also like the app was still like in copium mode, because like every time the train that I just like the train in the same code as the one that I just took, like is going to this direction. It always said that it's still going to like the its final destination.
Yeah.
But then again, I read the board, and then basically it says that, okay, so this train will be leaving with no guarantee that it's going to reach the final station.
Damn.
So I was like, oh my god. And then I was like on the other couch and on the other train, and I was like, okay, fine. Like at this point, I think I have to cut my losses. So I just told my friend, and I told my boss that I cannot deliver the gift to him, and I said to my friend that maybe I'll have to come next time because this is a natural disaster. I cannot do anything about it. I mean, it's pretty much it's not that bad, but it's still a pretty much a natural disaster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, fine. I will first go back to Berlin, and then we'll see what we can do. So okay, so then I will go back to Berlin, and I try to check the app, and then for some reason they still say that there's this one train from this one station that will still go to my friend's place. So I was like, okay, fine. So now I have to go to that train station. How do I have to go to that train station? I have to take like the local, like the city train. Okay, fine. So or I can take like the other train that might go to that thing again. So I was like, okay, fine. I will take the city train. And then I went to the city train. Like the city train platform was like being separated from like the long range trains, which is probably the only good thing about Berlin. Like the city train is actually pretty reliable. Until that day, until last Monday, because like I went to like the city train platforms, and then they said like, yep, due to the shit weather, every single train that is connected to this particular station is not going to be operational.
Oh god.
So I was like, okay, so there's this one train. The lights were off. You cannot open the door. So I was like, okay, so I think there's no chance at this point. So I was like, okay, fine. I think it's time to give up.
Fate is telling you not to go there.
I know, right? I was like, I felt kind of bad that he thought I was going to come the next day, so he was not preparing anything. He haven't cleaned up his room. So so yeah, because like he was also just came back from like another another trip. So like, yeah, I haven't had the time to clean anything. But like, I was like, fine. I mean, like, this is just like really unexpected. It was a natural disaster. There's no way we can like predict this. So like, let's not be too hard on ourselves. Then we had and then of course the next agenda will be dinner. I was like still pretty knackered from like the thing, like from like this whole ordeal, and he has some business to take care of with his mom. So I was like, okay, fine, I will take a nap while you go to your mom's place, and then like after that we can figure out what we can do. And he took me to this Spanish restaurant. It was really nice. I kind of regretted not getting a beer. Probably would have tasted perfect at that time. Also, I have 2 cans of beers and sitting down in his room. So I was like, do I really need more beers? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fine. I will not drink any beer for tonight. I'll just drink apple schorle, which is like the apple soda.
Okay.
Yeah, which is the closest thing. I think like that is a better alternative to beer than non-alcoholic beer. I think. But yeah. That I just had that, and then like we had told me to try out this lamb leg. It's pretty nice.
Lamb neck.
Yeah, lamb knuckle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically like the pork knuckle that you had, but like with lamb.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That definitely explains a lot.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, like the looks were pretty much the same. The bones are of course a little bit thinner than pork bones.
Mm-hmm.
The taste is exactly like lamb. And then the sauce is. And then I think like the biggest denominator is probably the sauce. Since the sauce is more Spanish style, I don't know how to describe it. But like the other one, like the pork knuckle is of course German style. So it's more kind of like a more simple gravy, maybe with beer. So yeah. Anyway, the bread was really nice. Like if Amami did not stop me, I will probably have continued like eating the bread for like the rest of the evening.
Nom 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 nom.
Nom, nom.
Pan.
It was phenomenal. And I'm saying that as a German resident. And but he especially told me to stop eating the bread because like we were ordering like soup. And he basically like told me to let's stop like eating the bread as it is. Let's wait for the soup so you can dip it into the soup basically.
Yeah, fair enough.
But even then, they give you like garlic bread with the soup. So I was like, oh, this is very, 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 very nice.
There's a lot of carbs.
Yeah,
I'm hearing.
Yeah, and then like the pork, like the lamb knuckle also come with fries. So I was like, and then like Amamiya being the small eater that he is, after that he was the one who suggested to me like, yep, let's get some McDonald's Sunday because why not?
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, like looking at his size, I'm surprised he eats that little.
Yeah, I mean like it's not that little, but if he compared himself to like, for example, me, then yeah, I do it more than him. But like it is still not that small. So like a normal adult portion plus like maybe 20%. But for us it's maybe like plus 50%. So it's like a little bit less than us, but still more than many, I guess.
Alright, okay.
Yeah. So it's more like, especially when we go to like all you can eat, I think like the both of us still kind of sometimes have that. I don't know, but especially for me, I kind of see all you can eat more into just like an eating experience, but also kind of like an entertainment on top of like the eating experience. So like for me personally, like eating as much as I can is kind of like a challenge that I make to myself. Like I wanted to fit in as much as I can, or at least like I wanted to beat my previous record in that restaurant, or so. So I kind of made it a game with myself. But also usually I would just choose restaurant that I think is good, of course. But there, of course, there are some times where I go to like the cheaper restaurant and then just go, okay, I just don't know what I feel like eating today, so I'm just going to go to this place and it's going to have like lots of stuff. Going to shove every single one and then see which one fills the hole and then maybe eat more of that one. If nothing fits, then I'll just drink more soda or something. Yeah. Sometimes it's more bad. Sometimes just like, okay, I just really enjoyed hot pot. Sometimes I do more in the mode of, okay, so I just wanted to have a hot pot. Also, like if you have a hot pot at home, of course it's going to be way cheaper, but also nobody should deal with like the cleanup afterwards. It's can be pretty challenging. Well, not challenging, but it's really annoying.
Hassle, yeah.
Yeah. So I prefer to have like hot pot in the winter because it will be cold enough to just leave the pan outside and then I can reuse the broth for like something else, like within 3 days or something. Within 3 days, and then it's going to be like be reduced enough that you can keep it in a container and then it can keep for a little bit longer.
What the hell? This sounds very unhygienic, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like you basically have to boil everything every time, but yeah.
Oh no, I'm beginning to sound British. I'm beginning to think like a British.
Probably, yeah. Oh my goodness. And then I just realized like and then I basically the Indonesian restaurant part of like my journey this time was mostly the best part are the drinks. Because I finally was able to drink like the avocado juice again. It was pretty nice. The only bad part about it was that there's not enough. Because of course, like in Indonesia, we usually have like the taller glass that has like maybe 400 milliliters. This one is just 300, and then like they give you like the biggest straw in the universe, so you are going to finish it like way faster. So I was like, I was like sad by the end of it, but like it was good.
They're gonna make you order more.
Yeah, but it's like really expensive, so I wouldn't want to. But like for
this is the plan all along.
Probably, yeah. And then like the second one is like the happy soda, in which I don't think they got like the syrup that we usually use in Indonesia, but like they try their best to do what they can with like what is available to them, and it's still pretty nice. Because happy soda basically is just like a fruit syrup, condensed milk, and then soda water. And then the more carbonation the soda water have, the better, I think. Then you just mix everything up. And it's a really pretty drink as well, because usually you will use kind of like a red colored syrup. It's like when you mix it with the condensed milk, it's going to be like this really pretty pink as well. Yeah. That's the main syrup that we usually use, is this flavor that we call cocoa pandan, which is basically cocoa pandan, which is basically coconut with the aroma of the pandan leaves. So yeah, it doesn't taste like coconut, nor it smells like pandan, but it's a really unique artificial flavor that I have come to be familiar and really like. I drink that thing pretty much straight. Well, not straight. I just we still have to dilute it with water, but like sometimes they will have it just like a syrup, like a ice syrup on the menu. So basically, it's just that syrup, water, ice, done. And then I paid like twice the price of like iced tea for that, and I did not regret any single thing about it. And that happy soda is basically that, but instead of like normal water, you use carbonated water and then condensed milk. So it's going to be really pink. It's really, because it's all sugar, so it's like the perfect amount of sugar as well. So it's really sweet, but not to the point that makes you want to that makes me like how do I put that, like makes you feel like it's too much sweet kind of thing. Yeah, because like that's
the way you call it. Oh, sorry, go on.
No. Probably because we kind of see it as the closing to the kind of see it more as a drink, so we don't want to have it like overpowering and everything. Because I think like with other the desserts of other Asian cultures, they do see it as a dessert, so they make it really sweet, and then you close it with something bitter, so either a tea or coffee kind of thing. But like for us, it's kind of like, yep, this is going to be the dessert and the drink, so like let's not make it too sweet, just enough so that you feel like you're treating yourself, but also not making yourself feel like bloated from like all the sweetness. Yeah.
I don't know why the way you call it happy soda reminds me of like how in Cantonese we call Coke the fat water. No, the fatties water.
We just
because like obviously it makes people fat.
Yes.
So we call it the fatties water. So we're gonna I'm gonna get some fatties waters.
Accurate.
Look at you.
Yeah, fat. Yeah, nowadays when I drink cola, it means I was like probably like working like for 6 hours and I haven't had anything, so I just need the sugar just to hold out until dinner time.
Oh yeah, that's what I do as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'll just occasionally like drink. Yeah. Basically, if I have like lots of physical labor, then I could justify like drinking like 1 glass probably. And then, yeah, if I went for an all you can eat, like my friend told me like he watched some YouTuber and then their tip is to drink cola zero. Then I find it to help me fit in more food, but it does make me feel less bloated, so I usually just close it with yeah, I mean it's probably just a placebo thing because he told me that. But I feel like after I drink it, I feel like not as bloated, so at least I can walk home and then like just walk everything down. So it makes you from feeling like super terrible to terrible. But it kind of helped, but it didn't. But like it kind of helps.
Eden.
It's all anecdotal. This is not it's not a medical advice. Just to let you guys know. None of us has a medical license, as you can tell. I'm a scientist. I'm a scientist in the field of computing.
Oh my god, that reminds me of that though. Of that joke. It's like, help! Is there any doctor here? I was like, I'm a doctor, and then like, please help him. He's dying. But I'm a doctor of philosophy. He's going to die. We're all going to die.
Speaking of philosophy, right? Like I just found it in a YouTube short just now. Like, did you know Getting Over It?
Like the game.
Yeah, the game. It was
I do.
Yeah, it was developed by a guy called Planet 40, as you can see in the title. Getting Over It with Planet 40.
Yeah.
So like the genre of that game is like the 40 rage game. It's
yeah.
It was named after him because he first make like those kind of games for his dissertation, if I'm not wrong. And he's a doctor in philosophy, and he's basically like working in philosophy, but like, so he designed that his first game kind of as a part of his thesis, just to see like how pain and rewards were connected, basically.
That's honestly though, that's such a flex. It's just like I'm just gonna write my dissertation on a game I create myself just for this dissertation. That is such a flex.
I know, right? So basically, he made that one. It got popular, and then like, okay, fine. Like philosophy is not like paying the bills. Like this is the one that's paying the bills, and he just went all out. And then like he made like several games until he made the Getting Over It that we know and love and hate.
Okay.
With all our hearts.
And hate.
Yeah. And then now the whole genre is named after him. What a chat.
Wow. That's actually such an achievement.
I know, right? Imagine if one day there will be a genre that is named after like a genre of like writing that is like in the style of Ayumu Seiki.
That would be interesting, yeah.
How would you want your genre to be? That's a loaded question, but yeah.
I mean, writing style and genre are two different things. Just so you know.
Yeah,
and I haven't really found my suitable writing style yet, so I can't answer you that.
Right. Fair enough. I feel bloated. It's not bloated. I just had dinner. And now that I am finally how to say, like after spending like 4 hours in Rune Factory earlier, I think I found out that my farm is now somewhat stable. So I was finally able to progress with the story. And now I can't stop.
Wow. I'm literally grinding a tree farm right now while we're speaking.
I know, right? Like I just can't play the game like without sound. Like if I can play the game without sound, I might be. I am still trying to grow a mandarin orange tree for a quest, and then like it's not growing, Ayumu. I've used the power of the gods and still not growing. Still not bearing any fruit.
Have you tried giving up?
No, that's like one single piece of the game. I wouldn't give up just because of that one stupid fruit tree.
Have you tried this solution called giving up?
I think I actually did that unconsciously. It's more like I did not. I just deleted that tree from my mind and I just proceeded with other stuff. And it's just because we were conversing about like farming trees, I just remembered. Oh yeah, I still have that stupid tree to grow. Also, like what else is interesting about that stupid tree? Oh yeah. So that particular quest, I thought I have to find like cause like if you don't have the seeds yet, like in the old Rune Factory games, basically you have to progress through the story, and then they will be available in the store basically once you pass like some part of the story, or like you do some quest, and then like the quest reward is for you to unlock like more seeds that you can buy in the store.
Yeah.
And then in this in Guardians of Azuma, basically the alternative is you can just find like the seed, like the plants like in the wild, and then when you interact with the plants, you have a really high chance to get the seed as well, and then you can plant the seeds yourself, and then you can basically use one of the sword of the goddess of summer to multiply the seeds basically.
Okay.
It's going to make sense. It's going to make sense really quick. No, just kidding. Because like so basically you don't really need to buy any seeds from the store from the beginning. You just have to find it in the wild and you will be able to do so. You will be able to plant your own whole field of radishes and turnips and stuff. And where was I? And then I thought I had to find like the mandarin tree first, and then get the fruit, and then deliver that fruit. Because the quest was just like, yep, bring me like one single orange fruit basically. And and then I was like, okay, fine, I will take this quest when I finally found the fruit anyway. And then one day out of whim, I pressed on the quest and then accepted that. And then as a part of the quest, and as part to complete the quest, they gave you the seed for the orange tree.
Okay.
So yeah, I could have finished that quest like from like a few days ago.
So basically, they just want you to grow a tree without actually finding it.
Yes. Yes. That's what they wanted you to do. It's just that because it's a fruit tree, it took more time for you to grow the tree for the tree to be harvestable. Because with the other trees that is meant for logging, they will be ready to be logged within like 2 days. So I was like, when is this tree going to bear fruit? And then it says that like, yep, it's going to bear fruit in like 5 more days. I was like, oh, I see. Going to take some time. Because basically also because this game is like really heavily Japanese theme.
Yeah.
Like it is one of those story where the gods live among the men, which is kind of like a really Japanese kind of spirituality, right?
Yeah.
So like there are lots of gods. They are not necessarily omnipotent beings. They are just really, really, really strong beings that are really, really, really good at one thing and kind of suck at the other things.
Yeah.
Yep. So basically, each god have powers that are related to farming for some reason. So of course, we have the goddess of the spring, who is also the goddess of music. So she gives you a drum that if you play near a plant, it's going to grow like it's going to cut like the growth time by 1 day. So for example,
Nice.
Yeah. So for example, turnip will need 3 days to be harvested. So if you plant the seeds, you will need to wait 3 more days until you can harvest it, right? So if you play the drum, you can only play the drum on one seed once every day. So if you play it once, then you will need 2 days, right?
Yeah.
So in 2 days, you will be able to harvest it. And then the next day comes and you play the drum once again. It cuts it by another day. So now it's harvest time, baby. So they make it way easier for you to grow your plants. But also they increase the scale. Because you kind of have to do this because you don't only fund yourself. You basically... Usually in the Harvest Moon games, you basically are just a normal farmer.
Yeah.
This one, you are a farmer and you are also the mayor. So you kind of have to have money so that you can pay your villagers to do stuff for you, basically. So you can tell them to go mining, you can go to you can tell them to go logging, you can tell them to go fishing. So like you can still do all the fun parts yourself, like fishing. Fishing is a mini game, so you might want to do that yourself. But if you just want a stock of fish for cooking and stuff, you don't have to go fish for a whole day just for like 10 fish. You can just send like 10 villagers to go fishing, and then you will have like 20 fishes for you to cook and experiment with, basically, kind of thing.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, they kind of like scaled up. They kind of scaled up like the production, but also like they kind of like increase the stake on why you need to have that much money. Also, you kind of have to build the buildings as well, so like that costs money as well. So sometimes I was like, I have 200,000 gold, like this is not going to go anywhere. And then I tried to build some buildings for the village, and then I was like, why can't I still have some materials left, like why can't I? And then I realized that my money, I only have like 200 gold left. I was like, oh. So that's why, because I have to pay the carpenter, of course. Like there's nothing as a free labor, right? And then the next is the goddess of summer. She's also the goddess of the sword, so that's why she gives you the sword, which can burn things because she's the goddess of summer. So of course her power is related to fire.
Okay.
But for some reason, so if you burn, sometimes you have to burn crops to kind of like use the ashes as the compost to kind of like nourish the land, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So I kind of expected it to go that way. I did not really expect her power to be related to farming in any way, because it was supposed to be like really offensive. And then the game like gave me a tutorial. So basically, when a plant is fully grown and it is ready for harvesting, you can use the sword to slash through the plants, and then you will get like more seeds with a higher chance of getting a seed of a higher level, basically.
Okay.
So like basically that's how you level up your plants, and then you can get like a more expensive plants to sell and make more money with.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the next one is you have the God of the Wind. He gives you a fan, like the fan.
Yeah.
that you can make a whirlwind with. And then I was like, okay, so it creates whirlwind. Like, how are you going to use this for farm? There's no way you can use this for farming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, if you stand in front of your field and then you use the whirlwind, it's going to harvest all the plants for you because it's magical whirlwind. It's not going to ruin the roots and everything. Even if there are some plants that are like cucumbers, they have the stalk, and then you can just pick up like a cucumber every day, right? Until the plant dies, basically.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, that doesn't even hurt the stalk because it's a magical whirlwind. It hurts monsters, but it doesn't hurt like a cucumber stalk for some reason.
Lama.
Yeah, but anyway, it really speeds up all the harvesting, so that's another plus. And then there's only one god left, which is the God of Winter. And then he gives you an umbrella that can shoot out water. That's like, yeah, so that's actually makes sense. So you can water with it. Of course, you can water with it. You can water your fields with it. And the stronger you make it, you upgrade your umbrella, the more fields that you can cover with one single magic from like that the gods have given you, basically. Yeah, so that's how you farm with the power of the gods. Who would have thought that if you have the help of the gods, the farming will be so much easier?
Yeah, definitely. Who wouldn't have thought about that?
Yeah. What a revolutionary concept. But yeah, it's kind of, there are lots of plot holes in the game mechanically, but like fine. I will still really enjoy like all the other parts of the game, so fine.
So what is the game actually about?
So Rune Factory is kind of like a spin-off of Harvest Moon, right? Or Story of Seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Usually in Story of Seasons, what you do is you inherit a farm from your relative, but that farm has been abandoned. And then usually within a set of time, you kind of have to revive the farm. So basically clean it up, basically start planting trees there, buying farm animals and stuff. And then you basically grow your farm so that the mayor can entrust the operation of the farm to you, because like otherwise then the government will just take it or something. So like basically the farm is going to be yours if you can manage it, basically. Okay, so a spin-off of that is Rune Factory. So Rune Factory, of course, it's a more fantasy take on Harvest Moon. So they kind of simplified the farming itself, but they added a lot of RPG elements to it.
Yeah.
And then the fantasy element is there's always this energy called runes. That is like basically, like the mana. So basically it's always the energy that kind of like brings the whole world together, right?
Yeah.
And then the general building blocks, general framework of the story of Rune Factory games, because they are pretty much the same with different flavor, is that there is always going to be this one big bad guy who wants to achieve something, and in order to achieve his goal, he basically like extracted more runes than the earth can handle, so that all the earth went barren. And then there's this chosen one that is called Earth, that are called the Earth Mates, which has like basically like the green touch. So basically anything that they grow will be like way better, will always be better than from like other people, what other people grow. But also when they went farming, they can basically like help to return the rune back to the land, and they basically have the power to kind of like fix the balance of the runes so that the earth will no longer be barren, basically. And then of course, farming will give them power. So the more you farm, the stronger you are in battle, basically. So now, at first, I kind of like praise the battle system for Azuma, because like the party you get to like the parties pretty early, so you can kind of like see the impact of like having more party members in your party. And then of course, like at that time I haven't really farmed too much, and then I farm too much, and then now my character is like strong, like 4 times stronger the other characters on the same level. So like, yeah. So about that, I am expecting some way to kind of like upgrade the other characters like to the same level as my character, but they don't really give you the access to, because you're the chosen one. Of course, you have to be stronger than any other people. But
Sounds like an isekai plot.
Kind of. It's more of like a fantasy chosen one plot. Like the chosen one is always special, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's like how the isekai series goes as well.
Yeah. And then what else is the other important elements? And then there are dragons. Yeah, there are dragons. Dragons are usually either like the force that kind of like depletes the rune of the earth, or like the ones that protects the balance within nature, basically. So basically, they are like the parallel to the gods of like the mythologies, basically.
Okay.
And then the monsters are creatures that come from this particular place called the Forest of Beginnings. They are neutral. They sometimes got transported to our world. They got confused and they attack people. But of course, this is a children's game. You are not supposed to kill them. So usually, what they will do is they preface in the game that you are not killing these monsters, even though you are using like a live sword. You are using a bow with real arrows. They will tell you that your weapon will be imbued with this thing that will send monsters that you beat back to this Forest of Beginning. And they might come back, but like they don't die. They are just sent to the Forest of Beginnings. Yeah. And then basically, for monsters, dying for real means they cannot leave the Forest of Beginnings at all. So that's kind of like a spoiler for like one of the games. Basically, one of the games, there's a monster that is kind of like a major supporting character, and then they basically reach the end of their lives, so they got returned to the Forest of Beginnings. But of course, the main character went like, "No, you are my friend. You have to go back." And then they went back together, and then the game ends. With the power of friendship. With the power of friendship, we can even beat that. It was that's so hard to pronounce. Okay, that's kind of the point. It's probably because we are subconsciously trying to avert our minds from it. I don't know. But yeah, it is both funny and also sometimes. But that also means if you cut down real people, they will die normally. Yeah. Unfortunately, they never really specified what happens to people when they die. And you do have to cut some people on your way. So yeah, I don't know about that. What else is unique about Rune Factory? Yeah, basically, they haven't introduced the big baddie yet in Azuma. They just say that there's this one disaster that happened, and then that basically not only like depletes the rune, but also because the gods, their powers are based off these runes, and then because the runes are like depleting from the land, they also lost all their powers, so they kind of have to quote unquote hide to kind of like preserve their power. Yeah. So even you start the game, like helping like the goddess of spring to kind of like heal herself, because like she was she was like actually like the only god that was already like really close to giving up, because like she was like already dying, like literally dying, like she already depleted all her power and she was about to die, and then like her resting place, like it was a sacred tree, and they were about to cut it down because like it was like, yep, it doesn't seem like it's going to ever grow again, so like let's cut it down so we can use the wood for like other stuff, like to fix the village and everything. And she was already like fine, like if they needed me more into as a pillar that supports the village like physically, then so be it. I was like, oh why? It's already started pretty solemnly, and then of course it's a rune factory, so like everything else after that was pretty much very lighthearted. Like the goddess of summer, she resided within a sword. The sword got stolen by monsters, ghost monsters by the way, and then we have to basically quote unquote save her. So basically like take the sword and then like restore the sword, and then like she restored her power with that. And then there's the god of autumn. He's the
god of what?
God of autumn. God of fall, yeah.
Okay.
Autumn, yeah.
Yeah.
He's the hikikomori.
Oh god.
So basically, well, the other gods was like quite much like pretty openly like, yeah, please, I don't have any power to save myself right now, so I know that you are like the chosen one, so please save me, right? But like the god of autumn was like, here, I will give you my power, but please don't look for me, like fuck off. he gave you the fine, and like he told you to fuck off.
Oh wow.
And then of course he told that to the villager, and then like the other villagers was like, well, fuck him, we're going to get him out of his resting place.
Bruh.
And then basically there's this tradition in that village where you know the mikoshi, which is that small shrines that people will carry during festivals and stuff. Mikoshi.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. So basically they have this tradition called the mikoshi brawl, in which you build like 2 mikoshi and then you slam them into each other, and then basically, yeah, the winner is the one that is not destroyed basically. But of course, like the ones where the god of autumn resets is really tough, right? Like they have never been able to destroy it. So like the villagers asked you to help them to procure some metals, and then make like the strongest mikoshi ever. And then with the power of friendship, so also you use your power as the chosen one to kind of like buff like the mikoshi that the villagers have built, and then they successfully destroyed the mikoshi where the god of autumn resides, and then he have to finally get out of his shell and finally go back to ruling his village. Yeah. And then the god of winter was pretty much already almost went berserk. So we basically have to fight him while he's berserk, and then like basically heal him while he is already half dying because we just slashed through him like butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's where I am. So now that we have saved the seasons, now I don't really know where it's going to bring me. But also like the other fun part about like Rune Factory is you get to choose whether you be a boy or a girl, right? Of course, in the first 4 games, it kind of mattered because it also affects, like, this is a Harvest Moon game. You can choose who you want to marry and then have an ending with that character, right? So basically, usually, well, in Harvest Moon, marriage is kind of like a side quest that you can do. In Rune Factory, it's kind of like the ending. So you choose a girl on the last day after you beat the big bad guy, and then you marry that person, and then you live happily ever after. You choose a guy character, you can marry some girl. You marry the girls. You choose the girl character, you can marry the guys. Standard stuff, right? And then starting from Rune Factory 5, I think they don't really check your gender, so you can just pick whichever eligible character that you want. Of course, there's still only going to be 10, so like 5 boys, 5 girls. And then you can choose one of these 10, basically. Then the revolutionary thing, but because also like the main character like exists like like they don't exist in the same universe, right? So like basically, if you choose the guy character, the girl character doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah.
But in Azuma, basically, strangely speaking, if you have played Genshin Impact, so it's kind of similar, in a way. You have a disaster, destroyed everything, and then there's this chosen one. There's a pair of chosen one that is going to. One of them they wanted to assist the gods to save the world. The other one, have their own ways to. That contradicts like the other character, basically. So basically, you start the game. You are fighting this girl. You basically choose whether you want to play as Subaru or Kaguya. Mm-hmm. So basically, whichever you choose, you're going to fight the other. Okay. And then because they exist in that universe, of course, when they will eventually join the villages, you can romance them as well. So you can just to marry yourself. So finally, they did not just allow you allow gay marriage, they allow self-sex as well. They allow you to marry yourself in a way.
Nice.
Pretty nice indeed. I kind of wanted to go back to it right now.
Bruh.
My hands already shaking. Shaking. Yeah. Chill. Yeah, I know, right? I'm going to play in the Winterfell after this. Just to chill. Because it's literally freezing. Yeah, also like the one thing that they make a little bit simpler is like in the previous Rune Factory games, you basically have this one farm that's affected by the 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have like to rotate like the crops every like 3 months or something. And then some seeds can survive in 2 months. I don't think there's anything that specifically survives in winter. So in winter, you kind of just have to grit your teeth, like just the ones that are like the most resilient, and then just hope that no storm is going to fuck them up. Yeah. But like in Azuma, they make it way simpler. So like they have like these 4 villages, and then each village basically has a fixed season. Like the spring village will always be in spring. The summer village will always be in summer, and so on and so on. So basically, you got the seeds. It's going to grow the best in one particular village, and not really the other, but also can be really worse. Can be way worse in like one of a certain village. And they actually like make some kind of like a balancing. They do make some seeds grow the best in like the winter village, and which the choice is also pretty fun. Just spinach, carrot, Chinese cabbage, and then pink turnip, and I forgot the last one, but yeah. I mean like cabbage, I guess that still kind of makes sense, but like spinach. Spinach in winter? My spinach in winter? I'm not sure about that, but I guess it's kind of like a balancing thing. Like summer already has like too much things anyway, so like I have to give some for the winter. And also that mandarin trees grows well in winter as well, cause why not?
Wait, what's wrong with spinach in winter?
Yeah, so basically, I don't know why, but basically, some of the seeds, they grow the best in winter, right? And I think that's just a balancing thing. It's not anything scientific. But basically, what they choose is like, yeah, so basically, pink turnip, spinach, carrot, and Chinese cabbage. The rest I think like there's supposed to be like one more, but I already I think like it's a leek. You know that Hatsune Miku thing?
Leek, yeah.
Leek, yeah. Leek soup. Basically, the Welsh dish. Ah, yes, the national Welsh dish. The leek soup. Sorry for that 0.1 Welsh viewer, but yeah. I just repeated what I heard on the internet, so not the factual representation of like the Welsh culture. But yeah. So I'm looking forward to, because like
I want some leek soup now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that will be really nice. Actually, I still have some miso soup as well. We're going to probably, I am in the mood to drink. I already bought some cheese and some ham. Probably going to have them like ham, cheese. I bought some plum, like those plums, plum wine, and miso soup. That sounds nice.
Plum wine is good. I actually had plum wine for like the first time, like what, 2 weeks ago, I think. And then yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I bought like the sampler bottle, so I don't think it's even like any cheap, but like it looks nice as a gift. So I was like thinking to give that to my friend, and of course that didn't happen. Yeah, maybe next time.
Maybe next time. There's always next time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that reminds me, like my friend is like so generous. Like every time we eat out together, they really love a Japanese restaurant in Chinatown, but I don't like it because I don't like the people. But anyway, yeah, and then every time we go there to eat, he would just like order like a bottle of wine for everyone.
Oh, that's
as in like a big bottle for like the whole table to share.
I see.
And it costs him like £50 at least, I think. Can't remember.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's still a lot, but like yeah.
Yeah, which, have I told you that story about that one person that went to our store buy like a bottle of wine with restaurant markup to bring home? That's like, okay, if you are drinking this on the restaurant, it still kind of like makes sense, right? Because you're like basically paying for like the seat, you're paying for the glasses that you're using, you're paying for like the service to especially if you do white wine, then you basically pay for the service to cool it down. But like this person just came to us and then like, okay, I want to reserve a table. Okay, fine, we have recorded everything. So do you need anything else? So yeah, I need any bottle of wine that is like, my budget is like 20 euro. Do you have anything that is like below 20 euro? Like, we have something that is exactly 20 euro. Do you want that? And she was like, yes. A resounding yes. And she just handed me the money. I handed her the wine and then she left. And then I was like, that just happened. And then, the restaurant markup is big, right? So I was like, oh, that just happened.
It just happened, yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. But yeah. Finally, this weekend, the reprint of Legends will be released. This is something that will be happening. So next week, we'll probably be starting to see more from the anime booster as well. As we have the anime booster, like, have you watched the extreme game for this month?
I haven't finished it yet, actually, but it's okay. Tell me.
Yeah, no, it's basically just Amamiya felt really strongly about the players this time, but like also,
why?
Yeah, well, I haven't watched the full picture, but to him, they were like still really green. Like, okay, so there's this obvious stuff that you could have avoided, but you didn't. Yeah. And also, And also they spam next.
And also what?
They spam next because why not?
They spam nicks.
Yeah.
What do you mean they spam nicks?
Well, not spamming nicks per se, but like to him, like kind of their choice of decks were kind of like decks that are like do well in the meta, basically.
Right. I see.
So yeah. So now there's not much to him, like there's not enough, like their argument doesn't really convince him that they actually like choose that deck because they really like that deck, basically. I mean, like you know how much Amamiya felt really strongly, right? Like whenever he plays like the meta deck, he was like, oh yeah, because like this particular elements, like this particular playstyle, like really appealed to me, like blah blah blah. Yeah. But like for him, when you choose a deck just because it's strong, like for him it just doesn't stand.
Yeah, I mean it's the same for me, to be fair.
Yeah. Because like in the end, like yeah, you do this. This is still a game. So like if you don't enjoy it, why are you even doing this, right? And also basically, and also like to some degree, enjoyment need to be conscious, right? Like there's like people who consciously just choose to. Okay, fine. I was about consciously choose to drink Coca-Cola once in a while to kind of like, okay, so this is a social situation. I will drink Coca-Cola just to have fun with the others. And there's also people who are like, okay, I cannot control drinking Coca-Cola because it's the only thing that brings me joy now. And it all started just because Coca-Cola is everywhere. So like, so do you consume Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola gives you joy, or do you consume Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? Yeah. It's not a very eloquent analogy. I am still trying to process the steak that I just ate in the dirty. Yeah, it looks really big, and then like they use that fancy salt plate, you know, that salt blocks that they used to serve the food with. And the waiter even asked me like, you do know that this is a salt plate, right? Oh well, yeah. Well, duh. Well, this is my first time seeing it to use as a thing that is served to me, but like, yeah, I've seen it before. But I kind of like, I think like for some reason, like my impression of it is because it is going to be, when it's really hot, it's going to impart some of the salt to the meat. But like after that, as it cools down, it will then really let out too much, right? Of course, it let out too much, though. Like my last bites were like kind of really salty, like literally.
Yeah, I do not like something that's too salty.
Yeah, but also the steak is dry aged, so I guess it's actually like pretty nice. Not really like people are always, when they try dry aged steak, they always note out some things like nutty flavor and everything. And I think they are pretty subtle, so I don't think I ate enough to kind of like tell the difference. But like, yeah, they are indeed like, aside from like the nutty flavor and the flavor profile, like everything was pretty much done well. Although, as then they are a Turkish restaurant, so it's a more Asian outlook of steak, in which, yeah, why would you want your steak to be red? The like when the waiter asked me like what doneness I wanted to be, like the lowest that she suggested to me is medium.
Yeah.
And then there's this thing called medium plus. I was like, I got that kind of back, because like as usual, like if you go to like a more Western restaurant, the more English leaning restaurant, they will give you like rare, medium rare, medium well, and then well done, right?
Yeah.
So when she just said medium without anything, I was like, I don't have any frame of reference in which doneness is that. And then she asked me like medium plus, and then I just asked her like, so is medium plus supposed to be like cook longer than medium, or is it the other way around? And then she said, okay, medium plus is like cook longer, so it's between medium and well done. Okay, fine, then I'll take medium. And then yeah, basically, as much as they're still pretty juicy, pretty much close to already losing everything, but they're still really nice anyway. Yeah, I think like the one that is like kind of like throw them under the bus is actually the salt plate. You got the salt plate, I think it's going to be perfect steak. They're well seasoned and the sides were really nice as well. Don't know why. Like the first time I tried their salad, I was like, oh my god, that's like the best salad ever. But like when I tried that again, it was like, yeah, I guess it's a salad.
Guess it wasn't that good after all, huh?
I guess so. I think like with salad, it feels like there's always that first time bliss with dressings, but the second time you eat like the salad with like the same dressing, like the magic is just gone, which kind of like make me sad because like the salad in that Spanish restaurant that Amamiya brought me, it's also really nice. So I ate the bread. Like why I cannot stop eating the bread is because of the salad. So I just put on the salad onto the bread and then like I just keep on eating it. Because I think they use some fish inside and then like it's not too fishy, but like it has enough.
It's not too fishy.
Yeah, it's not too fishy, but like you can kind of like just feel it like back there in your mouth, kind of like an accent to kind of like make it taste like a really nice seafood kind of seafood dressing to the salad basically. And of course, it's Spanish. They have some ham as well. So that's probably one of the big factors as well. Spanish and their hams. Yeah. So yeah, now that I've finally finished talking about my week, Ayumu, how was your weekend, basically? After we did that 4-hour card review.
It's the same as usual. I've been annoyed by some like private stuff that I don't think it's too suitable to say on stream, but I actually have been pretty annoyed for like the first 3 days. Like the thing was only solved like yesterday. But yeah.
So
I'm just really tired.
It's okay. So it's a good timing that we actually record today.
Kinda, yeah. I suppose so, yeah. And then I got annoyed about Gundam G Quarks in general.
Oh no, okay.
But I'm not gonna say much about that. I'm just gonna say I do not like that. In terms of like anything interesting, Fisher, he randomly decided that he wanna make some fan cards using fake Grand Order FGO. And so we've been doing that for like a few days. I mean, I was just like suggesting effects and just like fixing the wordings for him. But he basically followed up the whole thing, and then like he even learned not necessarily Photoshop editing, you know, just to make those cards. And he's like he's what's the word, improving really quickly.
Nice.
Yeah. Let me give you an example. Which one would be a good one? Like cause he's even learned how to like break the borders and everything like that. So like this one will be good. Okay, do I have to download first?
Damn. I think you can forward that, right? If it's in Discord.
No, it's on a Google Drive. That's why.
Okay. Yeah.
Here we go.
Ooh, really nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh. Still pretty nice.
Yeah, it's like it's a bit Oh, actually, I don't. Yeah, the Sanjiang one is not the best one, but Yeah, because like you can see like the borders, like he was a little bit too
Yeah.
casual about it, so it's like whatever kind of thing. But this one though, you can share on Scream you want.
Maybe not for copyright purpose, but yeah. Well, you just have to live vicariously through my reactions.
Wow.
But yeah, this one is really neat though. Yeah.
Yeah, Tawala Tota. Yeah. Just like like he's actually really good at like kind of like making the effects sort of breaking the borders now. So that's good. And then like and then he finishing the cards today, so we were just like testing it on the simulator and it's broken as fuck.
Yes.
Oh god. So good because like basically the whole concept is like I mean for those who don't really know what Fate is about, concept is Fate is that you as the protagonist has the power to summon historical figures who we call servants, and well you're the master. And then each servant will have like a really high power skill, which we call noble phantasm. And so like the concept is that every servant card will like have like a noble phantasm that's like activate once per game. Supposedly once per game anyway, because the master also has another ability called the command seal, which it depends on which series settings, but like basically he can use the command seal up to 3 times in each battle. So we do it as like up to 3 times in the whole game. And we made the fact so that the command seal is basically saying you can activate a noble phantasm, ignoring the once per game condition. and then we got the best partner of the protagonist called Mash Kiri Light.
Yeah.
And then because like she's what we call a shielder, so she's literally like purely for defending really. And so her effect is once per game, all your servants are infected by opposing spirit and magic effects until the end of your next turn or something like that. And then and then it's a cost 0.
Wow.
We're like, it can't be that bad. Why? I mean, people have piercing now, so it should be fine. It wasn't fine. Like the problem is like obviously like you can just like even like ignoring the repeating part with the command seal. The thing is like you can just like do the immunity during like the kill turn. Right. Yeah. So that really makes it broken. And then we make like 2 to 3 finishers. So like the first one is what we call the Lion King. For those who's familiar with it, it's like Lancer Toria. And then what was Hertefat? Right, yeah, Hertefat is like banish 12 cards from your deck or your Camelot cards in your trash because it's related to King Arthur, so everything about Camelot. And then when you do that, pick a card type. Destroy every opposing every card of that card type on the opposing field. Effects can't activate. The opponents cannot play that card type during their next turn. It's once per game, but imagine you can repeat it again.
Yeah.
And then like we got another one called so if we have Artoria, then we have Mordred, which is his/her son /daughter. Well, in Fate, both of them are girls, so whatever. And then Mordred, like, it's a burst, and then it has a really funny condition. I mean, the normal condition is when the hand increase, but burst nowadays, they're always gonna have like a pseudo condition. Like that you can activate in like other timing, which is like you can activate this immediately when the opponent summons an Artoria, because obviously a Mordred killed Arthur in the actual myth and also in yeah, and so that and so like that already is pretty. But the fact is like just destroy with like 2 symbols or less. and then for each symbol on the
Mm-mm.
but then it has to affect that on attack, which is like I don't think Fisher has realized it yet, but I realized it and it's fucking crap.
Mm-mm.
So that's basically on attack. You can burn 2 of your own life to trash.
Mm-mm.
Or is it 2 reserve? I think it's 2 reserve actually. If you do that, burn 2 opposing life to trash.
Mm-mm.
So if it's once per game, to be fair, it's not that bad. But remember, you got Command Seal, which can repeat it. And Command Seal is also just during flash timing.
Mm-mm.
So you can just swing with Mordred. And then like she's a burst as well, so you can you can easily activate her.
Mm-mm.
Swing with Mordred, burn 2, activate Command Seal, burn 2 again, and now you're swinging for 1.
Mm.
And if your opponent isn't careful enough, you can do this by turn 2.
Damn. Hey.
So it's like, nah, bro, we gotta fix this, bro. and then like the other finisher is Ozymandias. So or what people like to call him as Rasius the second. I can't remember her exact name. His exact name. But like, yeah, so we got Ozymandias, and then he hacks the effect. Wait, so before that, we gotta clarify that for his deck, we also have a Nessus called Ramesium Tantarus, which is basically his palace, his temple. And then I saw his effect. So it's a manifest card. So when manifest, you can deploy one of those Nessuses from your hand or trash on attack. Return every Olsing Brave and Nessus to the deck bottom. Also, by destroying the temple you control, also return all their Grandwalker Nessuses to the bottom. Also, during this turn, all your servant spirits cannot be blocked, and at the end of battle, by destroying these spirits, all your servant spirits gets 2 extra yellow symbols.
That is yellow.
So you just like swing for 2, clear your board, cannot be blocked, and then just destroy yourself. Okay, your next spirit swing for 3, cannot be blocked. I was like, this shit's broken, bro.
Yeah, bro. Who created that?
Apparently me.
Bro.
And then you also got the Nessus, because Ozymandias is a pharaoh. So it says, when summoning a pharaoh, by sourcing the Nessus, treat all cost reductions as being fulfilled. So that's minimum 4 costs.
Jesus.
And then level 2, once per turn, once per step. Originally, it's just like a permanent effect. It's like, no, it cannot be permanent. Why? Once per step, when your Ozymandias will leave the field, it can remain on the field in the same condition. Originally, it has no limitation. It's just when it leaves the field, it just stays there. I was like, nah, you don't even see that in Battle Spirit. And it's like once per step. I said, no, once per turn. It's like once per step. Like, fine, we can try that, I guess. I mean, I suppose technically Yamato Kira is like about the same thing anyway, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, so it's like, yeah, so yeah, we got like some pretty dumb card. Oh my god! Actually, no. Like what? That's like so. The one that I just sent in Tawara Tota. That one is also really dumb. And so like it's 4-2. When summoned, you can ram a core and then ram a core to another spirit. So ram 2 basically, which is like pretty normal. What's not normal is the level 2 effect.
Oh my god.
By heavy exhausting the spirit, you can put cost from the void to every Nessus you control until they are level 2. And during this game, this spirit cannot refresh. So basically today what I did is like I did it once. I ramped like 6 cores. And then because this one cannot refresh anyway, so I just like depleted it anyway. I just depleted. I summon a second copy,
Mm-hmm.
and then I activate Command Seal and just use again and ram 6 cores.
Wow.
I mean, to be fair, I think it's like borderline okay if we limit it to like only like FGO. But this effect, this once per game effect, is not limited to the FGO deck because the only condition is by heavy exhausting it. So I'll say we need to add a condition that you need the master in the deck, which is like basically the contract groundworker. You need that in the deck, or else you cannot use this effect. Because if not, when we make more fan cards, people are just gonna put this one card in every deck, like one copy, just to ram like 6 cards randomly. Because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a yeah, it's a bit out of control already. And then oh my god, yeah, like all these effects are really dumb. Like fan cards, man, fan cards.
I know, right?
It's like I think it's even harder when it's like actually I don't know, maybe because like Japanese battle spirits is like more complicated in terms of like everything. Like in terms of like varieties of effects and anything like that. It seems to be a lot harder to like judge, you know, what's balanced and like what's actually broken. Because like it's like a lot easier in when we're making like fan cards for Battle Spirit Saga, which is you know what we're still doing right now. Because like with those cards, I can just like read the effects immediately, and I would practically know immediately if it's like good or bad for the game.
Yes.
But like that might be because like the game is like much simpler than the Japanese counterpart. So like I don't know, cause like I'm like reading all these effects and like I mean some of them was like still like pretty cracked, like cost zero match is a white cost zero as well. Jesus Christ, and it's like okay, yeah, that's a no go. But then like you know a lot of the cards when I first read it doesn't seem too bad. But then like yeah. Okay. Actually, I think if anything, maybe like the effects are like borderline okay, but like the fact is like we cannot let it activate once per game, more than once per game. So maybe it's the command seal part that actually needs some fixing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like yeah, that's like that's basically what I've been doing today.
Yeah, at first I thought I was like thinking like the command cell, how you implement the command cell is more into like so instead, so the Noble Phantasm will also share another kind of like limitation. So kind of like when the the contract Groundwalker Nexus, when they are deployed, once per game, same name.
Oh, it's up to 3 times per game.
No. What I had in mind before you told me like how you design it, like what I had in mind was kind of like just once per game, same name. When it's deployed, you put 3 cores beside your deck, and then basically this course will be like what you need to consume for you to activate the Noble Phantasm. But that's probably going to be 2 weeks because you can.
Yeah.
So basically, you do that, and then you make like the Noble Phantasm a little bit stronger. So then you kind of like, okay, so you can only use it 3 times in a game, but they are going to be like really strong kind of thing.
Yeah. So like oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned this part, but again, for those who don't know about Fates, Command Seal, basically each master has 3 of them, and after they consume all 3 of them, they well at least in the lore, obviously in like the video games like different, but like in the lore, after you consume all 3 Command Seals, then you cannot use them again. You cannot gain the power back, and you know that's kind of like the concept.
Yeah, and then now your servant can kill. Your servant can hurt you.
Well, it's more like the servant can disobey you. Like obviously, if you build up a good enough relationship, then like whatever kind of thing. But yeah, actually, you know, our concepts are pretty similar, but we put it like you know, like reload from like a frick. So it's like 3 face down cards underneath the Groundwalker. Yeah, and then like every time you use it, you discard one, basically. Yeah. But like, yeah, I think we gotta fix that effect. Yeah. And then Fisher like told me, you know what, let's make some more. Like I don't know why. Like I mean, maybe because I've been like editing cards for like a really long time. Like I basically had to like upload them like every week. Um, since this public podcast, I'm not gonna say for what, but but yes, I've been editing cards for a long time. Yeah, and like I did not find them joyful at all. Well, no, I wouldn't say at all, but like most of the time it's a bit of a hassle more than like being actually fun about it. But like Fisher is different. Like maybe because like he's actually making something he likes. So like he finds it very soothing to like very relaxing to like edit the cards, and then he's like, I want to make more. You know, he's like, yeah, and he like told me like make more effects, make an alpha Mujika there, cause like okay, maybe later. That sounds like an idea.
No, right. I think that's a pretty fair point, because I think like when people people are talking about like finding your passion in your work, right? Like people always like go for like the big picture, like, oh yeah, I wanted to work with animals, for example, or I wanted to work surrounded by video games. So like always the big picture, right? But like when I was working, like of course my boss will also like pretty much influence how I approach like passion. Like he said that, okay, so you kind of like, I think because like my view of passion is more into like passion from mastery, right? Like you do some things well, and then you basically, because of that, you kind of like develop kind of like an affection for it, and then okay, so now that you can do that well, and then you kind of like build up an affection with that particular job, then that becomes kind of like your passion. And then because like how he prefaced that is because we have like a colleague, who's also a Korean, and he was working in finance, and basically what my boss told me is like, yeah, so passion doesn't always have to come in like the bigger picture, because like you see this guy, his passion is basically in organizing data. Because like he works with data a lot, he organizes like all the data that he gets, and that is what he becomes really good at, and that is what he really likes to do. Like that is like the small part of the job that he likes. Because like I think that can be pretty liberating, because like some of this quote unquote like small tasks is something that are like can exist in a lot of jobs. It's like you in a way, you don't really have like that one dream job that you really want to, but you are also like free to work any job as long as you kind of like still do like those one thing that you want to do. That's also why while I still really wanted to get that software engineering job, I pretty much enjoyed my now over glorified low wage. No, just kidding. Why I enjoyed like enjoying my part time as a waiter, right? Because I see that less of like, okay, I'm just serving food and then like receiving money and everything. It's more into like, okay, so my passion is more into like sharing my own culture, right? And then like that's also why it kind of works that I work in an Indonesian restaurant, because that so people who come here are either like Indonesians or like people who sometimes people just come by, they don't know about anything about Indonesian food, so sometimes they will just, especially when the restaurant is a little bit quiet, they will sit down, try something, and then like, okay, maybe ask some questions like, yeah, why is like which are the food that you like the most, which are you think the best, which are like I sometimes there are people who, okay, so we are going to Indonesia next month, like do you have any recommendation where you want to where I should go, in which I cannot answer because I'm a shut-in, and I basically just stay at home, go to work, go home, go to malls, repeat. But I also it still feels like, okay, now I have to kind of like rack my brain, because like sometimes I do go to places just because my company told me to, like sometimes we have company outing, okay, maybe I can use that as a reference, and that is kind of the fun part, right? Like the other tedious stuff, like cleaning particularly not as fun, but like talking with customers, like kind of like sharing, okay, so this is the food that I like, this is why I like it, this is why everything is so spicy, maybe you need to get good. Man, I love working in Germany. Hey. Okay.
Oh my god, what did you drop?
My dumbbell, but I did not drop it on my foot, which is good. Sorry, good enough. It did not destroy the floor. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness it's not a Nokia.
Oh my god, that will have leveled the whole building.
They would just drop to the earth core.
I know, right? Did you know that? Did you know that one of those meme videos where this old guy close up to the screen, to the camera, and then he just said like, "Fuck you and fuck your family, and leave me alone to my illusions." And then the floor just cracked, and then the floor breaks, and then the video just stops.
What?
Yeah. Leave me alone with my illusions. Out of 10.
Okay, that was weird for sure.
If I find the video, I'll send them to you.
Sure, I guess.
But yeah, if you wanted to be sent an unsolicited video in your podcast, or if you have any other questions, comments, or requests, you can always send them to our email at therefreshsteppodcast@gmail.com. We don't have a website yet. We might have one in the future, but not now. Or you can always leave your comments down below. So yeah, next week I guess we will be back with another 3 to 4 hours. No, just kidding. As much time as we needed to review the cards that we have missed during the last 2 weeks. Probably skipping some of the Rebirth of Legends stuff. Maybe some of the secret arts that we missed. But other than that, I guess that has been everything that we can share for this week. We hope that you guys have a nice week going forward, and we'll see you all in the next turn. Bye bye.
Bye.
Oh my goodness, I almost dropped my bottles as well.